not, you gotta listen naked.
Well, look who we have here. It's a fresh new face. Mr. Reggie Love. I'm not even going to take the time to introduce you right now. We're going to jump right into hot topics. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right.
Real quick, just to set the stage for our audience, we're going to pop through hot topics that folks are talking about right now on Twitter and the world, wherever, water cooler. We're going to get some hot takes from our man, Reggie Love, today. So let's get it. What's the first topic up? Money, NCAA, NIL. This is something new. And, obviously we all played in an era pre-NIL. And I think it has fundamentally changed a lot of things. And I think I'd love to get into somebody like yourself, Reggie, which we'll get into your background, but as a dual sport athlete, at Duke, what's your thoughts? I mean, obviously as former players, we all welcome, players getting paid, I imagine, but I'm curious what your overall thoughts are.
I think it's beneficial to allow the players that are producing a lot of value for those universities to participate in some of that value creation. I would say, look, I said this to Mark Emmert for years. I think you can give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
But you can't make him drink.
True. But my biggest point is that I've always said I've been a big proponent of lifetime learning, right? Like the fundamental principle of a student athlete is that you are going to play the sport in exchange for an education. And I think when the NCAA did not act, when UNC had been sending these kids to non-classes, in my point of view, that's a breach of contract. Mm-hmm. And those are the types of things that make you not really believe in the system. Because you get a kid, you get an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, $100,000, $50,000, he ain't got a bank account, he don't know how to file his taxes. Like, what have you really done? Now, and I do think that the bigger piece of it is that what no one talks about is that, college coaches are at odds with college athletes in their academics. College coaches get paid to win games. They don't get paid for graduation rates. They don't get paid for how well Ryan did on his Monday fucking lab. Like, they get paid to win football games. And
Thanks.
I think that there should be a window period where students can be allowed to learn and learn effectively while not also having to be at conflict with the coach who's trying to win games. And it used to be like summer was a time you used to get ahead. But now summer, man, it's warfare. It's like it's full train all year. There is no downtime. And so in my mind, the only way you have an ability to create a playing field where kids can actually take advantage of this value proposition is you got to give them time to effectively be a student after they've been an athlete. Like lifetime learning. You play 2 years, you play 3 years, you can come back and get your second undergraduate degree, get your graduate degree, and that shit costs the school nothing, man. It's just book cost to them, man. They ain't got to write another check. They ain't got to, spend.
Hold up. So what are you saying? Are you saying that you don't get paid till a certain time?
Saying that, when you're done playing, if you vested your time, right? Like if you play, I don't know what the cutout day should be, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Oh, I see.
You should be entitled to go back to the university and take a part of all the things you couldn't take a part of.
That's a great idea, Reggie. If I could go back and get a degree, like a postgraduate degree for free because I played, a certain number of years, I would jump all over that.
So is that instead of NIL?
I think you should get both.
Both, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say.
I think to give somebody a couple of $1,000 today is great, but that doesn't get you there,
Right. They're getting a lot more than a couple thousand. I think what I realized was high level initially. I'm like, of course, we should definitely be getting paid. The universities are making billions of dollars, right? And it's like the athletes who drive that. I get it, and I'm so appreciative of my free Duke education, and I believed in that value proposition, and still do, frankly. But it's like, man, it goes beyond the value that we're creating, and so like we need to be getting something. But I will say, I believe that high level and still do. But once I kind of started talking with folks, particularly at Duke, and understanding kind of the landscape around the country and how much these players are getting, even prior to coming, right? Like guys guaranteed to get 3 million over 4 years, right?
Well, I mean, look, I would. There's not a lot of compliance in that space right now, and I know there's a lot of talk. It's like, oh, she was a 10 and 11, and I spat. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on, and people are telling you how great it is, but when you look under the hood on some of this stuff, I don't think the numbers are actually as attractive.
Well, here I got a story for you that's under the hood, right? So, kid I'm talking about, right, Michigan. And I was telling him a story. This was just a few weeks ago. He was in town for his sister's wedding. And I was telling him a story about how I used to go to, when I was playing league, I would go to Walmart and sign autographs for an hour for $1,500, right? And he goes, $1,500? And I was like, I mean, it's the NFL. We made a lot of money. And he goes, that's nothing. I would never go. He goes, I would never waste an hour for that. And I was like,
did he give you a figure?
He did not give me a figure. He's a very humble, modest guy, but he was like, he spit on me, basically.
I know, you know, a dude guy, I won't mention names, but I know 6 figures, you know, for something relatively similar, right, in terms of endorsement deal and things like that. And I just blew my mind to be a sophomore, you know, a dude or junior or whatever, to get that kind of bank. You know, my concern goes to your point, financial management. Does that also come with resources around, you know, how to manage that money and what?
Yeah, but you know what? Like that's I agree that that's an important part of it. But this is a capitalist society, and we make money, we get money. That's the way that works.
I just know that had any of us had $100,000 in the bank as sophomores playing football at Duke, I know myself personally, I can't imagine too much good in terms of how I would have behaved at that age and that, you know, level of maturity that I lacked.
It would have been good. It wouldn't have been productive.
There you go. There you go. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up our hot topic segment. We appreciate you, Reggie. We're going to get into the fourth quarter, but we'll get into a little bit more of your background and learning who you are. So with that.